Hello my dear students, how are you? We are back with our NCERT series and yes, we are going to start our NCERT Economy Class 10 Chapter 4. Yes, what does the chapter talks about? It is talking about globalization and the Indian economy. Yes, today we are going to cater to the topic of globalization and the Indian economy, how Indian economy started the globalization process in 1991 and how we have improved our GDP and how we have improved the condition of finances in our country. So let's discuss it. Going forward, this is Raini Simon, your educator, yes, and I'm your NCERT economic educator here at Shikara IS. Welcome to Shikara IS students. We are here to provide you foundation course, offline classes, online classes, be it for UPSC or state PCS like Telangana State PCS Examination Group 1, Group 2, Andhra Pradesh State PCS Examination under the guidance of our respected Deepika Reddy ma'am. Okay, and I have 6 long years experience of UPSC as an aspirant, and then I have taught in STEAM opportunities I have got in STEAM organizations to teach online as well as offline. So let's get started, student. Globalization. What is globalization, my dear students? What is globalization? What do you think when the word globalization comes? Globalization. The globe, revolving around the globe. Yes, toward the whole country, towards all the countries of this world. And how we are able to do that? We are able to do that via the process of rapid integration and interconnectedness between countries. So the countries will be connected via your trade, communication, and this is how globalization is done. So if we talk about current situation, okay, we have decided that we are going to cover the NCERTs along with the current affairs, the current scenario related to that topic, right? We are not going to make our economy very boring kind of. We are going to make it wholesome, sufficing and also supplementing with the current affairs, okay? So if we talk about the exports, so if we are talking about globalization is the process of rapid integration and interconnectedness, then trade must be there. So if we talk about trade, then in India, what do you think, students? What are the top exports from India to the US? What are we exporting to US, to the US? Yes, we are exporting them jewelries, agriculture produce, refined petroleum, rice, textiles, automotive components, chemicals and petrochemicals and machineries. We are actually giving them all these things. And you can see the highest is jewelries and agricultural produce that we are giving, and apart from that refined petroleum is also there, and rice is also 1 billion. Okay, so you can get a lump sum idea that globalization is helping us somewhere to trade in the global platform with rest of the countries, right? And this is the scenario of exports from India to US. I am giving such kind of lively examples so that you can correlate with the static syllabus, that is the static word globalization. Globalization means interconnectedness, and when we are connected, we are doing trade, we are doing communication, we are traveling to those places, right? And when we are traveling to those places, we are also exporting goods to those countries. And this is the scenario, this is the whole chart. You can see we are exporting a lot of things to US, be it your jewelries, agriculture, refined rice, textiles, automotive components, chemicals, petrochemicals. Going forward, see, agriculture in India becomes one of the important things which we are actually exporting, be it your dairy sector or your fruits and vegetables or your generic medicines. Also generic medicines, we are exporting a lot of generic medicines when it comes to UK. Yes, we are sending a lot of generic medicines to UK, and recently we have tied a free trade agreement with UK as well. Okay, so this lively example, you can understand that a lot of fruits and vegetables, dairy sector, generic medicines are something we are exporting to the rest of the world. And globalization is helping us. So you can see here, you can see a lot of fruits and vegetables which are actually taken from India are being now sold in the markets of US, UK, Europe. So we are not less than anybody. And now we talk about the exports from USA to India. Now what Indians are taking from USA. Globalization does not mean that only you are connected. The rest of the countries are also connected with you, right? Trade is happening from them as well. And you have to open your market. When you have to open your market, you have to buy their stuffs. So what stuffs we are exporting? What stuffs we are importing from US? Let's discuss. So we have aircraft and aero equipments, then we have plastics, we have medical equipments and pharma, defense and security, oil and petroleum products, then we have engineering machinery, automobile parts, chemical fertilizers, renewable energy and leather products. These are the products which we are. Nowhere we are getting any kind of fruits, vegetables, generic medicines. No, we are having plastics, we are having aircrafts, aerospace equipments, defense and security engagements. So these are the things. See, these are the things which we are actually getting from US. The aerospace parts related to defense parts we are actually buying. So these images will make you remember during the examination, okay, be it your prelims, interview or mains. I'm putting these examples just for you. I'm putting these pictures just for you to make the economy class more lively and not only restricted to the static part of economy but also connecting it with the rest of the world. Okay, so it becomes more practical approach to economy. So when you see all these jets, you will get to know, oh, we are exporting these, we are importing these things from US to India. These are the things: aerospace engines, aerospace components, also defense sector. So in globalization, if we talk about, we have seen that a lot of times India is talking about 1991 reforms. So what happened in 1991 reforms? Let's know. So globalization, interconnectedness with the whole world we have done. Yes, and not only when it comes to trade, but also economies, culture and population. Yes, economies, culture and population has also interconnected with the whole world. India with rest of the world. Okay, and in this way we have done the cross-border trade in goods and services, and technological advancements also happen, my dear students. We have taken technology from Western countries. We have given our traditional wealth. We have given our traditional insights to Western countries. And in that way, globalization was happening. And most of the countries have started it. And it gained mainly in 1990s. Okay, particularly in 1990s. The globalization term was coined and it got more widespread recognition. It was not coined in 1990. It got more recognition, my dear students, after the Cold War. Okay, cooperative arrangements significantly influenced modern day life. And in India, we talk about 1991 economic reform has aided the rise of globalization in India, which has profound impacts on Indian society, both positive and negative. Why do we say positive and negative? See, globalization is positive, now you are thinking. But there are certain negative aspects also. When we are taking good habits from, suppose you have siblings, okay? Suppose you have cousins. You have siblings at your home and you have cousins. Your cousins are coming to meet you. They are giving you new insights. You should read this book, you should read that book. But sometimes it might happen your cousin might also say you something which is not actually good for your future. So globalization is also like that. It has two sides, a darker side and a brighter side. It's up to us, it's up to our country what we are preferring to take. Okay. So in 1991, Dr. Manmohan Singh was the finance minister in 1991, and India was close to an economic collapse, my dear students. Yes, in 1991, the condition of India was so bad that it was near about economy collapse. And if the economy would have collapsed, it would have become very difficult for Indians to again make it right. So then at that time, our finance minister Manmohan Singh has played a very important role in 1991, and the country, they have started their foreign exchange reserves, cover few week of essential imports. The foreign exchange reserves also had so less money that they could support only essential goods for only 1 week's time. This was made worse by the weakening of Soviet Union in the late 1980s, which has been a source of cheap oil and raw material, a market for Indian products. India has also been able to trade without needing US dollars because of this relationship. So what was happening? There was sudden fall of Soviet Union also. And when there was fall of Soviet Union, Indian dependence was huge on Soviet Union. We were taking a lot of materials, raw materials, cheap oil from Soviet Union, which is now Russia. And at that time, India was whole and soul dependent on Russia. But the downfall of Soviet Union again somewhere hit us back, and we were not even exchanging in dollars. We were not doing our market. Our market was not even open for dollars. And that time, Dr. Manmohan Singh played a very important role, my dear students. He has started his 1991 economic reforms, and then we came to know that our market can be opened and it can be privatized, globalized, liberalized, and then can be further boosted, the economy boosted because of this man's intelligence at that correct time of need. So that was the background. Now let's talk about what are multinational corporations. What are multinational corporation, my dear students? So MNC that owns or controls production in more than one nation. Multinational corporation, more than one nation, correct? Multinational corporation. So they have offices and factories for production in region whence they can get cheap labor and other resources. Okay, so how MNC works? They are targeting places where they can get cheap labor, land, so that they can start their factories, they can start their production outlet. Okay, so this is cost of production, so it is done in a low cost of production, and they can get greater profit. And investment made by MNCs is called foreign investments. Okay, so we in India also we have a lot of MNCs if we talk about. So that is not called foreign investment. If our MNCs are opening in other countries, then that is foreign investment. But if we talk about MNCs from the outer world to India, then they are your Google, Coca-Cola, McDonald's. These all are your MNCs which are not belonging to India, but they are having good roots in India as well. And if we talk about the MNCs in India, we have a lot of MNCs in India as well, my dear students. What are those MNCs? They are your Tata Group, Reliance Industries, Aditya Birla, Infosys, Microsoft, TCS, Bharti Airtel, ICSC, Larsen Toubro, ITC. These are one of the best examples of MNCs in India which I could get and show you, for example. So now can you connect? Multinational companies in India are so famous right now that we have achieved milestones. We have got so many companies who are actually your good companies, and they are earning, their profit are scaling like anything. Okay, their profits are scaling like anything, and we are proud of those Indian companies who are working abroad as well, and they are giving education and they are giving your employment to a lot of people in India as well. So these are the MNCs. Okay, we have catered. These are the MNCs of India, and India is proud to have this kind of MNCs and this structure which is actually boosting the economy in India. And if we talk about the Tatas, they are no less than a giant, and everybody knows the Tatas, right? They are more or less like a parental company to the government. Yes, if we talk about Tata Nagar is privatized city, and the water condition, the air condition, the employability condition, everything is so nicely managed by the Tatas. So it is a perfect example of how the MNCs, how the giants like Tatas work. Although we don't have Ratan Tata between us now, but their innovations like Tata Namak, then the Nano, which was like to afford the middle class and the lower middle class people. He started a car called Nano so that everyone can walk Everyone can travel comfortably in India. Okay, so we have such kind of global giants who are not selflessly only working for the company, but they are working for the people, for the society, and for the welfare of the society. Now we talk about rest of the MNCs. We have Reliance, we have Just Die. If we talk about Reliance, so Reliance MNC has a lot of faces. What are the faces of Reliance Industrial Limited? Reliance ka hi hai your Jio, Zimbabwe, then is your Just Die. Then you have your Netmeds, Ritukumar, Gap, Amante, Urban Ladder, Plastics. These all are the different faces of Reliance Industrial Limited, which is actually revolving and spreading in India, which you and me maybe not be aware of it, but the Reliance industry, which is an MNC, has these kind of faces. These are the companies belonging to Reliance. Again, why we are discussing all these students? Because we want to give you practical knowledge of what is happening in economy rather than those bookish and old and just black and white information which your mind will not be able to receive. Now you got it? Now before heading, let's talk about our mentorship program, a foundation course under our respected Deepika Reddy ma'am, and this will be a dedicated course for everyone, and you can join the course and you can contact us in this given number below for further details. We are also starting a foundation course for TSPSC Group 1 and also for Group 2 examination students. Please contact us for demo videos and also for orientation classes. Going ahead, let's talk about liberalization of foreign trades. Yes, when we have actually liberalized our economy, it was in 1991, students. Yes, it was in 1991 that the process of removing barriers and restrictions were done by Indians in 1991 in our economic reforms done by our Dr. Manmohan Singh. Yes. So what is liberalization? It is a process of removing barriers or restriction set by the government. See, ours is the government, okay, and we were, before 1991, we were protecting our domestic workers. We were protecting our domestic market so that foreign companies should not come with the textile of there with cheaper rates and Indians start buying those. Because we have already seen that during British era, what was happening, our textile was sent to different countries at a very low price and their textile were allowed to come in India without tariff barriers, and then Indians were buying that. So Indians after independence thought that we are not going to open our market for foreign goods because Britishers have looted us. Now for 200 years we have seen that their products were coming here, Indians were buying that, and our products were taken from us, sent at a very cheap cost in rest of the countries, and we were not even getting the profit of it because Britishers used to keep it with them. So that scenario India did not want it to repeat again. So they wanted to protect, and thus they were not opening up the market to the world. But in 1991, when we were ourselves suffering so much with the economic crisis, at that time the policy was such that we have reformed and we have opened our market, we have liberalized our market, and then we have also removed barriers which was obstructing other companies to come and sell their products in India. Okay, so it all started in 1991 and we have started importing a lot of foreign goods and also exporting a lot of goods to foreign countries. So removing barriers or restrictions sent by the government is liberalization, and that's what we did in 1991, students. Now what are the objectives of liberalization? What do you think? Why we have started liberalization in 1991? So it was done to promote involvement of private Indian businesses and multinational corporation, to enable Indian economy internationalization, yes, to bring the products of India to the world. World should know what kind of quality we Indians are giving. Yes, this is your world and the world should know what India is actually giving. The textile quality, the raw materials quality, the fruits, vegetables, fish, wheat, rice, dairy. Okay. So all these things are something which India wanted to show to the world, that our quality is best and we maintain the best quality. So for that we have also started. Then to boost exports, yes, definitely, and to resolve the balance of payment crisis. At that time we were having the balance of payment crisis, only 1 week of import money we were having, and that's why to improve that also we started liberalizing. Then to encourage domestic enterprises to compete with others also. See, if we are not opening up our market for the rest of the countries, then we are not giving the challenges to our domestic market companies also. And if we are not challenging them, they will not improve. And when they will not improve, then what will happen, students? Again, they will fall down. So we don't want that. So we have removed those barriers, and then trade barriers. And tax or imports is an example of trade barriers. What are trade barriers? We are putting certain kind of taxes and tariffs on the imports. Suppose, let me give you an example. Okay, we are buying watches. Okay, we are buying watches from US. Okay, but US, they are selling the watches as a very high cost. They are selling the watches as a very high cost, but with same quality, Indians are also buying it. So to protect our watches in India, what we will do, we will put the import tariffs from the US watches and the rest of the country's watches, so that the price will rise again, and only the higher strata people can afford it, and they will spend their money in that. Okay, and again the middle class can consume the market of Indian domestic goods as well. है ना? So in this way we are protecting our market, and we are putting certain kind of tariffs on imports of the goods which are coming from foreign countries to India. Going ahead, we have all seen the best example of trade war was your US and China. Yes, both of them were having this trade barriers, and the 125%, 60%, 25%, they both were putting tariffs. Not only US not only put on China, but also on Indian goods as well, and this was a famous news. And from here you can correlate what is trade and tariffs and taxes which countries are putting on each other, so that their imports cannot come inside their market and flourish in their market. Okay, nobody wants that Chinese cheap material should come and flourish, but what to do? If the audience is dependent on that, then in that case you have to do it. See, this is the scenario which happened, and this was the case that both were putting tariffs on each other, and trade war started. The taxation increased day by day. Now what are foreign trades? Very easy, that foreign trade investment, we are attracting foreign traders for their investment in India, and foreign trade we are doing foreign trade so that we can sell our products to the foreign nations and they can sell theirs to us. And for that we have started the special economic zone, students. Yes, which have world-class facilities for industries like water, electricity, road, etc. So someone establishing their industries for export purpose, for world-class purpose quality, then in these special economic zones they will be getting good water, electricity and road. So these are the facilities which they are going to get in special economic zone, and allowing flexibility in labor laws to the MNCs for enabling smooth operations as well. So what are special economic zones? The perfect example is your Hyderabad Emphasis SEZ. Have you visited to the Emphasis Hyderabad? If you have not, go and visit it. Okay, and go and visit a particular special economic zone in your city, in your place also. So SEZ is a territory within a country that is typically duty free. Okay, they are typically duty free. Fiscal concession is being given to them and has different business and commercial laws, chiefly to encourage investment and credit employments. Okay, they are given cheap duty free concessions so that they can have these kind of commercial encouragement and also can invest and create employment for people. So okay, and then they are created for better administer these areas, thereby increasing the ease of doing business. So SEZs are also being created to administer these areas nicely, so that from that particular area we get more and more employment and investment. And Hyderabad emphasis is one of the best example of special economic zone. Another special economic zone in Telangana, we have your aerospace SEZ Adibatla. Okay, Adibatla in this Rangareddy district we have. In this Rangareddy district we have this aerospace SEZ special economic zone, which is again catering to the needs of the aerospace industry and building world class quality for export purposes. Now, what are the objectives of SEZs? They are to create additional economic activity, boost exports, create employment, boost domestic foreign investments and infrastructure facilities. Major incentives and facilities available to SEZ. What are the facilities? Duty-free imports and domestic procurements of goods for development is allowed. Exemption from various taxes like income tax, maximum alternate tax, external commercial borrowings by SEZs up to $500 million in a year without any maturity restrictions is again given, and single window clearance is given by them by the central and the state level. So these are the benefits, and why we are giving these benefits, students, so that they can flourish. The special economic zones can flourish and they can create more investment and also jobs. Now, last but not the least, let's talk about the World Trade Organization. What is it? So our NCERT class 10 chapter 4 Globalization also talks about World Trade Organization. So World Trade Organization is an international institution and it regulates the rule of global trade among nations. Globally, how the trade is going on, they are discussing that. And it was formed under the Marrakesh Agreement. Yes, the World Trade Organization started under Marrakesh Agreement, which was signed in 15 April 1949 by 123 countries after the Uruguay round of negotiation and the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, that is GATT, leading to the birth of WTO in 1995. So these kind of agreements, the Marrakesh Agreement happened in 1994 by 123 countries under the Uruguay round of negotiations of the GATT, that is General Agreement of Tariffs and Trade, and then WTO, that is World Trade Organization, who is catering to the global trade rules and regulations. It was formed. WTO becomes important for your prelims, mains and interview students. A lot of questions in past also have come related to World Trade Organization. Now WTO succeeds the GATT, which has regulated world trade since 1948. So before WTO we had GATT, okay, General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. This was something we were having before WTO. And then WTO came and then it started. GATT focused on trade in goods, while WTO started in goods and services. Yes, not only in goods but also goods and services it started. So this is the difference, and headquarter, if we talk about, it is in Geneva, Switzerland. Currently we have 166 countries and 98% of the global trade is happening, and these are the few information. WTO again becomes very important for you students. Please go through this again and make your own notes out of it. That's all for now. Stay tuned with us. For any doubts, please do message us. If you have any doubts, we will be very happy to entertain your doubts, and contact us in this given number below. Yes students, and yes, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more details and educational stuff.